Star Wars is alive and well. The ACOLYTE has just premiered with the first 2 episodes. What's up, everybody? I'm Elements for DYAD in the Force. Choco, what is up with Star Wars, man?
It's just gotten woke. There's not enough men.
It's been dead, right?
New show drop, The Acolyte. This has been my most anticipated project for the past 2 years. Super excited for it. So first 2 episodes dropped. I'm curious, just a quick brief hit, how you felt about the 2 episodes. How do you feel?
I feel like for the most part, I try to err on the side of waiting until the whole thing is done to kind of rank anything. But these first 2 episodes, I absolutely loved. It's a fantastic start. Leslie hit it out of the park and just delivered something fresh, something unique, something that like crossed my mind as I was watching this. It felt vintage. It felt old timey, and it's perfect for this time period because it's the High Republic. But it felt like I almost felt like the same way I felt when I was watching or when I was playing the Old Republic. It felt old timey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially with like the set design, things like that. At no point, okay, I feel like a lot of the other shows, when I watch them, I am very aware when I'm watching a scene that's shot inside of the what's it called, the volume. So like, yeah, they're in a forest, but they're not near any trees. It's always just like a same exact size clearing everywhere, and like stuff like that. And so they built real sets. They built the Jedi Temple. They like did all of that stuff, and I think it makes a big impact on it, and it shows. Overall, though, I will say, I mean, I know I just said to do them both together. I was a little bit underwhelmed at the first episode, but I feel like that is
the reason
common.
The 2.
Yeah, that's the reason they did 2 episodes. Two things. One, pilot episodes are always shot well before, months before everything else. So all the chemistry from the actors comes together in the second episode. And also, there's a lot of exposition dumps in the first episode. Overall, though, really enjoyed it. And it pulled me in and made me really excited to see where we go without knowing what's going to happen.
Oh, man. I can already see the influence of the wuxia. I wanted to touch on that really quickly because I was concerned about them kind of revealing the person behind the curtain, so to speak. We watched the trailer. Okay, who's the Darksider? Who is this person that's going around killing Jedi, right? And it's revealed really quickly. And so I had a thought in my mind, okay, so everything in the trailer is just like in this first 10 minutes and everything from the trailer is revealed. What I love about that is that it has already like dispensed with what we saw. And by virtue of doing that, they have now unveiled the larger mystery. And that's what I'm still kind of wondering about. Like, okay, we found out about the mystery in the trailer, but it's not all like known to me still.
Yeah, I remember a long time ago running into a leak, and the leak was like, in the Acolyte, it's going to turn out that the main character has a twin sister, and that person's doing the bad stuff. And I was like, man, did I just spoil it? Like, is that going to be the answer at the end of the season? And I'm like, nope. We tell you that right up front. And we're like, that's barely a leak. So, that sort of thing. Also, the premise, right? They're going around, they're killing these Jedi Masters. We need to find out why. But specifically, we're told up front that there's 4 of them, and she kills 2 of them in these first 2 episodes, and is on the way to the 3rd one, and has already met the 4th. That's really interesting to me because at first, when they say, okay, we have to assassinate, like it makes me think of Assassin's Creed, where the whole first game is going to be, I need to go through these people, and then the last person is going to be able to. This sets it up so that 4-person assassination plotline is going to be resolved next episode.
I don't.
What's after that? You know what I mean?
I don't even think that is an important plot line. The one thing that I was concerned about, or not concerned about, the one thing that I took away from these first 2 episodes is that the actual plot is like a Rashomon style thing, right? We have Osha, who remembers her sister started the fire. and everyone died, including the sister. And May believes that the Jedi did something wrong, and the fire was started, and Osha died. So we're gonna run into this. Oh, from her perspective, this is what happened. From her perspective, this is what happened, and we're gonna get clashing points of view again, in which we don't know who's right. But it makes me, just like with The Last Jedi, we have Snoke, right? We have this master who is like, you must kill the dream. You can't kill with a weapon. So now, like, I'm thinking, well, clearly May's version of events is going to be filled with a bunch of gaslighting.
Yeah, so definitely going to be filled with a bunch of gaslighting from whoever this dark side person is, but I don't think the Jedi are going to be innocent in this either. So
yeah.
I can't wait until we get deeper into the actual events of what is happening, and I have some theories on, like, that's why the second master looked so weird. It's because they have an actor who's way too young, because he's going to be really young in a flashback. What we're going to end up seeing, or what I hope to end up seeing, is something akin to Revan. So Revan got kind of brain blasted first by the Emperor, true. And then by the Jedi. I keep wanting to just call him Jason Mendoza. I'm sorry. That's who he is from The Good Place. Manny Jacinto.
Oh, Keimer.
When his character was like, don't erase my brain, or whatever it is you Jedi do, I was like, that's weird, but that's telling. The way that Soul kept saying, I watched her die, it started reminding me of Phil Coulson a little bit, of Tahiti. It's a wonderful place,
That's true.
So I'm curious if the events actually happened the way that those people in there think it happened, or if something else. I mean, the master chose, she was like, you can turn yourself into the Jedi, or you can kill yourself. And he's like, I'm gonna drink some of this scissor.
Yeah, there's certainly an element of guilt in there. And I think what most people are going to be taking away from this is, Carrie Ann Moss, like, is she done with the show? And thankfully, we know she's not. We are going to go back, because there's a lot of footage in the trailer that we see of Torben as a Padawan with the Padawan braid. So we know there's going to be flashbacks, but we know also that with the Rashomon style, you're going to have to go back, and you're going to have to show the events that happened. And in this case, it's not really like this one shot thing that happened in The Last Jedi. It's like a huge kind of tapestry. So there's going to be maybe 4 episodes where they're back in time, and Dara's there, Kalnaka, Torben, and Soul. We're also dealing with Mother Anastasia. We still have that one too. So there's definitely like threads moving from here to there. There's the Darksider. How does everything mesh together to create this one thing that I don't think that the Jedi are at fault intentionally. I think, again,
no,
they've been undermined and either were tricked into doing something that they thought was right? Like Torben said, we thought we were doing what was right? For the Jedi, it's never intentionally evil, right? They're always pushed into the corner.
Yeah, and so then that comes back to what I was thinking is, if they did, maybe they erased the girl's memory because she witnessed her family dying, and they were like, this is going to help her in the long run. Her brain ends up filling in the blanks, or her brain ends up, they share a connection, her and me. I'm curious, when they saw, they were convinced each other died. I'm curious if one just got the vision from the other.
I still feel like there's Sith trickery here as well. Where there's a dark side, there's a mask. Where there's a mask, there's trickery. So yeah, I'm interested to find out where this all goes. There's a lot of threads out there that's dangling right now. We got our first Sith code line. What's the meme? Filipino! Filipino! Let's go, Manny.
And peace
is alive. I know.
Torben is not the serene.
First line of the Sith code.
What if our Darksider is not actually a Sith?
I knew for a fact that nothing is as it seems.
Yeah, I was calling right now that our Darksider is a fallen Jedi. And
they always are.
And it was an effort to clean up the fallen Jedi, and it was kept secret, just like Vernestra said, we don't want our political enemies to get word of this.
Yeah.
And that's what the cover-up was. Did you feel weird about Vernestra saying that?
For sure. I think there's a lot that happens from the books to now that informs that decision. Of course, there's a lot that happens from the High Republic to the prequels that informs the hubris that leads to them being hoodwinked, as Leslie Headland says in an interview.
Yeah.
But I think we're expecting this, and I don't think this makes Vernestra wrong at all. I just think it just kind of shows us that she's more willing to look at the big picture rather than the individual, which is something we learn about in The Living Force.
Fantastic book.
Another conversation. How did you feel about that force barrier, man? Like, that's the first time we've actually gotten it in live action. Did you just try to attack a force barrier? I love it. Love it.
I'm just gonna call it right now. Leslie Headland watches anime. That was a
sure.
Rock Lee fight. That was Rock Lee versus Gara.
But here, so as lore masters, we're often asked a lot of questions, and the one thing that is on the docket as the most asked is, why don't they just turn off their opponent's lightsaber? And we've been saying this for a while. Force barriers or force fields are there for the defense of the force user, and I'm so glad that it remained invisible to the naked eye, because I really don't want like Dragon Ball Z auras happening in Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was cool in like early Bleach, but then I don't want to see their physical presence. Having that as an ability now, where he could very well just on a subconscious level, like that's what I'm asking for, is to stay protected and stay concealed in this little thing. And not to pick on the Jedi too much, but like there is a bit of hubris in like, yeah, someone came in and like broke in, didn't do much about it.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how you reacted to it, but like me, when I was watching that, I was like, this is another one of those Jedi hubrises. They let everybody come in and just walk, just explore the temple. Yeah, that's also Jedi hubris. Just let people walk in and just mosey about the temple. Like when she passed by that person, or is that the person?
So my mind, myself, when I walk into like a smaller grocery store, when they're like, "Oh, black guy, let's keep an eye on him."
I have to mention Jackie. I have to mention Yord. Geez, Daphne Keane and Charlie Barnett did such a great job, and I know they're gonna continue to do a good job. Yord is like
he's a protocol droid, basically.
Almost, but he reminds me of Obi-Wan only when he's dealing with Anakin. But as soon as you put him next to Anakin, he's like, Anakin, stop. This is not the rules. And so it just reminded me, like, he's so eager beaver. And then like the interaction with Jackie.
And maybe so, but we need backup.
Is it Yod?
What's wrong with Yod?
Nothing. No, he's Yod.
Master Soul, I thank you for choosing me for this mission. I should have brought Osha in myself. I apologize for my error.
Yod, put your clothes on.
Look, that scene was weird. It was like, why are you? Okay,
hey, man,
you're proud.
You gotta be able to iron your robes, especially High Republic robes.
He's so eager that he's taking off his clothes to iron it because he's so straight laced that he has to do that. It read as a weird thirst trap that was kind of out of place.
Well, according to us, there might be some people who's like, that's very well in place and on time. But I digress.
We got a new droid. What do you think of Pip?
They were this close to putting me in Star Wars, and I'm a little upset. But Pip's pretty cool. He's adorable. What can I say? It's a droid that fits in the pocket and can be Iron Man. The fire extinguisher's got everything in that tiny little body. What were your standouts in terms of characters in the first two episodes?
The chemistry that happens between Sol and Osha far and away exceeded I feel like anyone else's true chemistry. I mean, Jackie was just Jackie and was just a delight all the time. Of just like, no, that plan's dumb. Let's do this. It's like, yeah, that's better.
And Daphne's delivery is just it's perfect for that.
Yeah, it's this casual, like tired, like why is he here again? You know, type of thing. And so I did enjoy that. But like we had a little scene where Soul sees that she got a tattoo. And then
Oh, yeah.
she's like, "Oh, you hate it, don't you?" And it's like, doesn't matter if I like it or not. And it was like such a dad whose daughter has moved out
Yeah,
and
that's
is
true.
back.
And you hate it.
It doesn't matter what I like.
We also have the relationship between Keimer and May.
Yeah.
It's gonna be May. They had a really cool chemistry, and I really like his character because there is some stuff going on there. He seems casual. He seems like he's just like
he fought her off,
stoner
remember?
vibes. A surprise attack from her, and he fought her off fairly easily. That dude's a beast under there.
Keimer is the guy in the mask. And he's just parading as just this guy that's out there and helping be a supplier. I'm just kidding.
I almost feel like it's too simple.
What do I have to go off of? Star Wars, Sidious. The Chancellor right under their nose. That's like right there that they let go. But that's like a kind of like a joke. Congratulations to Manny Jacinto. I have to do. I just have to Filipino. But yeah, the show's off to a great start. The larger mystery has been revealed. We have a lot to look forward to in this show. We got a lot of the Force and lightsabers and Jedi fighting. There's just a lot of Jedi in these first 2 episodes that we're not used to seeing. Lots to look forward to in the upcoming episodes. Is there any kind of theories like kind of floating around?
All right, so my dark horse is the person we're gonna see in the past as the Padawan. The second person she kills, yeah. I'm gonna say it's actually Torben, has been pulling the strings.
I mean, that force field thing was kind of powerful.
Force field thing is real powerful, but if he put the other character up for it, then it could have just not be poisoned. He could be doing it to take his name off of the suspect list in order to do his thing. Sometimes not even be there. That could just be a projection of him just chilling.
That's
you know what I
true.
mean? By putting himself in a deep force trance. We'll have to see. That's just my Hail Mary.
I do like that though, and here's why. He hasn't spoken to anybody in 10 years. And I feel like when you're taking the Barash vow, yes, it makes sense you wouldn't talk to anybody. But B, what if like that's just the cover? Like it's like, okay, I'm gonna astral project into my dark side body, do all of this stuff over there while my body is here is floating in this kind of stasis. I like
and also for anyone to turn, for a Jedi to kind of turn, I picture that happening more so when they were younger, just in general. And so like, what if whatever this thing was happening back in the day, he is like, this is messed up. And he was like, I need to burn this thing down from the inside.
I really, really like it. The mystery between the siblings is going to be a huge one going forward. Who was right? Who was wrong? What really happened back then? Are they going to have a happy ending? Are they going to be together? Is anybody else going to die? There's a lot in this time period.
That's actually my other theory.
A lot of people are going to die.
Oh, no. So the sister's going to meet back up, and they're going to go with each other, but they are going to separate both from their relative institutions. They are going to need to heal, and they can only do that by trust and being with each other. Especially, we have the whole poem thing that they recited at the very beginning.
That's true.
In the first episode. But that's going to turn whoever the Darksider is against May. But also, Osha is going to leave the Jedi, and then they're going to be suspicious that maybe she's turned to be with her sister. So we'll see. And I'm mostly basing that off of the fact that Leslie Headland said that she was really inspired by Frozen, which was about the love of the two sisters. So
still a lot of questions to be answered. This is the greatest thing about not being in the Skywalker saga. Even though we're leading up to the prequels, we don't have any idea as to what happens to these characters after the fact. So we can't draw a natural conclusion like we do when we go from the prequels to the originals to sequels. And there's nothing that can help us predict as to what's happening because these are all new characters except for Vernestra. This is all new plot. And it's off to a great start. That'll do it for this analysis of episode 1 and 2. Stay tuned on this channel, DYAD in the Force, for more coverage of the Acolyte next week. We might have a guest, we might not. We'll see. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to turn on notifications. That's it. On to the next one.
For Light and for Life.
We're all the Acolyte.
And it's gonna be May.